Chapter 98. Audacity. Hyunki decided to bring Rosemary to his home as his mistress, as their relationship is already out in the open. Thinking he is already free, since Riel had passed away. One busy afternoon at Hyunki's office, he was invited to a conference in Hong Kong with renowned business groups. He will stay there for 3 days, leaving Rosemary to manage the household. But why can't I go with you? I learned that, whenever you had such trips, you always brought Riel. So, why can't I? Rosemary implored. Look, this has nothing to do with Riel or you. I'll be away for only 3 days, so please don't worry about making this a big deal. I will be home before you know. Since Rieler's death, this was the first time Hyunki had departed from home. After Hyunki left, Rosemary felt anxious to look at the 2 rooms under lock and key, so she ordered the house staff to open them. Sir Hyunki instructed that those rooms shall not be opened unless he said so. It must remain under lock and key. Besides, Mrs. Rosemary, the keys were in Sir Hyunki's possession. Rosemary became silent. Why have it closed? Were these rooms their regrets? Creepy, she thought. All right then. Since Riel has long been dead, I want the wedding portrait in the living room removed and thrown away. There's no use in having her picture hanging on the wall. What is this? A museum? Rosemary shouted irritably. But, Mrs. Rosemary, Sir Hyunki may disapprove of it, and we must wait for his approval before moving things. I am now the mistress of this house. Just comply to everything that I say. I am sure Hyun would like that too, because Rieler is dead. Rosemary spelled out the words to them. The house staff was nervous and confused, fearing that the master of the house's anger would surely backfire on them. Don't wait for me to break that frame. I'd throw a stone to that portrait, so it would fall and break into pieces. Now, choose. Everyone moved quickly, rushed to get a ladder, and have it brought down carefully. Throw that away. There's no need to keep it, Rosemary ordered. 3 of the maids carried the giant wedding portrait of Riel and Hyunki out of the hallway to the garbage dump when Junie saw them. Where are you taking that? And why was that removed in the first place? Asked Junie. Mrs. Rosemary ordered us to bring this down from the wall and throw it away since Mrs. Riel is gone, the 3 maids said sadly. But Sir Hyunki did not order anything about bringing them down. The 3 maids chittered nervously, so Junie suggested, let us bring them to the storage room until Sir Hyunki arrives. He is the only one who could decide on it. Understood. And so they kept quiet. 3 days have passed since Hyunki left for the conference. Rosemary was expecting Hyunki's arrival, and she asked permission from her boss to leave early. She was about to leave the mall, when suddenly, Hyunki's Lexus parked in front of her. Hello baby. Missed me? Hyunki exclaimed. Rosemary was surprised. I never expected to see you here, baby, Rosemary remarked. Let us have dinner first in our regular restaurant. I missed having you as my date, Hyunki said. They were already home, and while in their bedroom, Hyunki narrated his activities at the conference, and then mentioned Akio Hinode. I met him there, and he was avoiding me. But when he was cornered by one of my colleagues, I took the chance to approach him. Hyunki smirked. He looked at me severely and told me outrightly to get my face off him, because he could not stand me. I understand where his anger was coming from. He was in love with Riel, though he never admitted it. I feel sorry for him. It was I that Riel chose, and she always said that Akio was only a good friend. But while Riel was still alive, he was always there. If Riel was still alive today, he might get the chance to take her away from me. So, honestly, you're jealous of Akio Hinode. Am I right? Hyunki replied. Honestly? Yes, because he was persistent. And usually, persistence wins. Since we are talking about honesty here, were you still in love with Riel while we were together? Rosemary wanted to know. Yes, I still loved her, and nothing could take my love for her away from me. It was just that I was attracted to you, and I don't know why I couldn't resist you, baby. Rosemary felt a prick in her chest and said, was it because of her baby bump? Being pregnant changes a woman's body, even how beautiful one can be, and some men can't stand their wives' changes in their looks. I am sure you were one of those men. When you saw me, you became attracted to me, because I am sexier and hotter than her, right? Rosemary said flirtatiously. Hyunki smiled, then quickly hugged and kissed her, placing her under him, and stared at each other passionately. Rosemary caught his lips and kissed him until their tongues entwined. Both moved in closely, demanding one another's needs until they groaned and became one. The birds were chirping, while the gardeners were trimming the bushes in the garden, and the sun's rays were peeking through the curtains that awakened Hyunki. He glanced at Rosemary, but his vision of Riel suddenly came upon Rosemary's face. He got startled and quickly arose from the bed. His face became pale, was uneasy. A few seconds later, he pulled himself together and went to shower. Rosemary got up, got aware of Hyunki's bathing, went to the kitchen, asked about breakfast, and prepared them their coffee. While waiting for Hyunki, she went to the garden and sipped her coffee. Rosemary found the day shining, but the cold breeze wrapped her being. She stood there for a few seconds when she heard Hyunki's booming voice. "What happened to the wedding portrait on the wall? Where's the portrait?" asked Hyunki in a harsh tone. Rosemary trembled. She had never experienced Hyunki in that tone of gruff voice. She rushed towards Hyunki to calm him down. "It was I who made them remove that portrait, baby. There's no need to display your wedding portrait because she's dead." Hyunki stared at her sternly and said, "Just because she's dead, you have the audacity to remove that portrait without consulting me? If I wanted that removed, I had already done it simultaneously with the 2 bedrooms under lock and key. Had no one told you that nothing in this house be moved without my permission? And look what you have done with the living room. This is different from how it was before. Put it back." And so the maids rearranged the furniture, the way Riel did them, and the portrait was put back in place. Junie gave an angry enjoyment smile, while Rosemary was humiliated by Hyunki's behavior. Rosemary couldn't stand Hyunki's attitude, having her humiliated in front of the house staff. "Why are you doing this to me, Hyun? I even felt humiliated before everyone else in this household." Rosemary wept. "I did? I'm sorry. Then? Please ask me before making some changes to this house. I am used to seeing this house as it was. I am only comfortable if the changes were made with my knowledge. As of this moment, I prefer them as they were." Hyunki went to the dining area for breakfast and chose to be quiet. It has been over a year since Reeler's death. Akio Hinode flew back to the metropolis. It was where he spent his life and business after Reeler's death. He drove his Cadillac Escalade to the driveway in front of the main entryway of his business office. As he got off his vehicle, a little boy ran toward him. "Papa!" exclaimed the little boy. Hinode rushed to him happily and carried the boy, enthusiastically embracing him. "Oh, I missed my little tyke. You're getting heavier, huh? Where's your beautiful mommy?" "She's inside, busy." Akio carried his boy to the office and was met by his executive assistant. "Akio, your dad has been calling you a few times now. He told me to give him a call as soon as you arrive." "Okay, I'll do just that. But first, I need to know how's my little tyke's mommy doing." Akio Hinode handed over the little boy to his nanny. "What took you so long?" She came closer to Akio and stared at him for quite a while, as if examining his thoughts. "I sure missed you both. Being away for weeks makes me long for peace," expressed Akio. His executive assistant released her eyes off Akio and said, "I fancy going out tonight. It has been quite some time since I have seen a movie," she said. "Sure, why not? Bringing you out tonight was one of my plans, and I missed you for days since I flew back to Hong Kong. Having you out of my sight made me lonesome. But of course, I would also like to spend some time with my kid. He came to look for his son." "Where's my little tyke? Where could he be hiding?" Akio said in a playful mood. The little boy ran in small steps and joyfully hops as Akio took him in his arms. The father and son played hide and seek. Then the little boy came to Akio's back for a piggyback ride. After his playtime with his son, he called his dad. "Hello, Dad." "Oh, Genki Desu ka?" "Hi, Genki Desu. I've called because I'm anxious about this deal. I agreed with my close Korean friend about the types of machinery which can be used for our building projects. But Dad, are you sure about this? We can purchase the types of machinery you want, and I only ask you to give me some time," Akio pleaded. "No, because my friend also wanted to participate in the subdivisions we are developing. Come on, son, the more board members we had, the better, don't you agree?" Mr. Hinode insisted. "But not with these brothers, especially the eldest, Dad. I have no problem with the second son, but the eldest, I won't enter into this deal if I do not trust their father, who had been my closest friend before you were born. Please, son, consider my request." "All right then. If not for you, I prefer to be alone in this endeavor. I will meet these brothers when I return to the Cebu Business Park. Are you happy now?" Anything else you want to say, Dad?